Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of FishTown here in City Skylines 2, where things are starting to ramp up a bit right now, since in the last couple of episodes we've solved a bunch of problems, we've done a bunch of expansions. We are now ready to start heavily investing in the great nation and this great island of FishTown, because we laid down the foundations last episode of building our mega city, our big beautiful city right now that we're gonna have, and this could potentially become the capital of FishTown. We'll have to see how this pretty much transforms right now, but things are looking good. Now, we're going to have in this town some of the bigger buildings, some of the taller skyscrapers. We implemented the tram system, which kind of comes in and directs itself to this central tram junction before then leading back out onto pastures new. But we're going to make sure that this is the main focal point. We're going to put some big, glorious buildings around. It's going to be amazing. Now, what this does mean is I'm going to now bring a lot of people into the region, so it's going to create more problems than we currently have. We seem to have a little bit of a health issue right now, waiting for an ambulance. Let me see if I can quickly sort that out. Is it just a case of they're waiting for the ambulances? Do we have all the ambulances out right now? We have the 5 dispatched. We could probably do with a couple more, and we'll probably start implementing those after we've got our mega city in. So before we get into it, there's one thing I want to say to you all right now, and that is I need a name suggestion for our brand new city. Those two over there are 2 small towns. This is going to be a city. So before we get into it, give me a suggestion for the name of this city. Try and keep it fishy related. And if you're enjoying the series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Appreciate it. So I'm actually kind of excited about this one right now. So we already have a public transit line coming down. So at the most part right now, without me doing anything, we have a way for people to get over here, which is absolutely glorious. Now, I want to place down a couple of signature buildings and main buildings before we start doing any zoning while we've got a little bit of money to kind of make this the focal point of the whole area. Now, first thing I want to do is I actually want to place down, if I can afford to do it, the City Hall. Now, the City Hall is 1.6 million, which we're not really that far off it. It is a decent sized building, but I want to get the City Hall in because I want this to be like one of the main areas, and I want to create a nice run going through this with all the tall buildings around just to make it feel a little bit nicer. I think something like there would be pretty good. I can do the French City Hall, which is, do you know what? Actually, that might not be such a bad idea. Do we get like different stuff? Oh, okay. There really is a different kind of bunch of things we do get. We got the District Hall as well. That's way too big for us. The EE City Hall, the China City Hall. We got the Central Bank, and we got this big City Bank. Remember, guys, previously the banks broken my previous games. So I want to get the City Hall, and I think I'm going to put it round about here. So I'm going to delete this little road there. But then I want to see if I can implement some plazas moving forward, and that will kind of set me up nicely moving forward. Now, I don't know what plazas to go with. There is a bunch of different options we can pretty much pick from. There's something nice that fits in. I might go for something like this because this is already kind of situated to fit within that gap. It has the path that they can walk through to get down to here. Actually, I don't know whether to then do the same one again, but then flip it the opposite way, and then just do a crosswalk here. So have I implemented it there, and then there as well? We have the crosswalks there, and obviously the crosswalks then going to go all the way through, and then they can make their way down to the beach area where we could put a nice, beautiful little harbour to kind of connect to other areas, which should be pretty interesting. So it's going to be quite walkable. We'll have bike lanes coming all off this as well. It should be pretty good. Right, next, I want to take a look at some signature buildings. Now, we'll start with, and I don't know how tall to go. I feel like they might be a little bit too tall. some of these. So I think we'll start nice and simple to begin with. But I can start fitting in like decent size buildings. So we got the Lighthouse Ponte. I don't know whether to kind of like centralize a lot of the tool stuff and then put some medium style stuff kind of leading around. It's a bit of a tricky scenario, this one. I don't really know how big to ultimately go. But I do like the idea of these ones here. I feel like I might just put them there. Now, these are signature buildings. They don't cost me anything, but they do give us quite a large population boost. They hold 300 residents. Right, nice, decent size. I might rejig some of these buildings. It won't be until I get them all in that I decide where I kind of start placing them. So that's way too big of a building, that one. These ones are pretty good. I could place you... Could we do you just like there or something? So just place you there. So just drop in a couple of signature buildings to begin with. The Colossus Tower is always a good one. I'm going to put that one sideways. So I'm trying to like organize in different directions where stuff could potentially go. We'll take a look at mixed residential stuff. So we do have some decent sized ones there, but I just want to focus on the tall skyscrapers first. Way too big of a tower. Way too big of a tower right now. The Marvelous Building, that's actually a pretty decent one. That is enough that I could kind of squeeze in there. That works pretty nice. And that provides 23 jobs. This provides 648 residents. Oh my goodness me, it's going to bring so many people. I don't want to push it too far, make it too crazy just yet. That's a hotel. And then we have officey stuff, which is probably what I want to maybe mainly focus on more than anything else. So, right, let's get an idea of the size of these buildings. So I don't want to go too crazy. And that, I couldn't fit that in anywhere anyway. But I'm going to place you, on this side here. So I want to create like a little bit of a downtown area, and then everything will spiral from it, is basically what's going to happen. Right, too big. These are going to get way too tall now, aren't they? So I got to be a little bit careful. So I'm trying to rotate you to see where I can fit you in. I can kind of probably put you in here. Like that. And do I just go for one more? I think I might just go for one more building. That's way too tall. That's way too tall. What is the size difference there? Yeah, we can definitely go with this one. So if I put you... Let's just go there. So that's probably all the buildings I'm going to want to pretty much have in terms of the signature style. Let's just now see if I can kind of like console them into one area. And then you got to remember, when I do zoning, some of the zoning will be tall skyscrapers as well, which will kind of complement it. I feel like that building there is now slightly overshadowed. So I'm wondering if I just move this here to move you. Let's just put you here. I don't want it to be too overshadowed. I do like the size of this building. And I might just put you just there. Actually, no, I'm going to put you on this side here. Like that. Very good, very good, very good. And I think that might be pretty decent, if I'm being completely honest. That feels like it should be pretty decent. So it does provide... what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put the zoning real quickly around this. Because it'll give us a rough idea of what the population and job market's looking like. So it's called Victoria Way from the get-go. 1,800 residents so far. And there is 650 jobs at the moment. Right, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. This is going to bring so much traffic as well. Okay, so I should now be able to afford the City Hall building. Which will get you in now. So... that will be placed just here. And I'm going to do a nice little walkable path around it. So do I do bike lanes and stuff? I might just do some bike lanes just for the funsies. So just do that. I don't want to create any crosswalks or anything like that. And I'm just going to put you to there. Bike lanes going around. Oh, hello. That didn't connect in, did it? You connect there. You connect there. Very good, very good, very good. And then it's got a nice, because it'll have an uninterrupted view all the way down to the water. With the way that we're going to kind of like stylize all of this. So to make sure, I don't know whether this kind of feels like it's a little bit out of the place. Oh, there's upgrades you can do to some of this stuff, by the way. So I might drop you there. And then the rest will kind of then hit up with all the zoning. Right. This is where it now all kicks in. This is where it's all now going to kick in. And we're going to have absolute craziness going down. So we'll start with some zoning. And we don't really have any medium density or high density, so we'll start with a little bit of commercial first. And we'll do the high density commercial. So I'll fill that in there, and that will do what it needs to do. We'll fill that in there, that will do what it needs to do here. So we'll get a couple of gaps here and there, and we can probably end up fine-tuning that as much as we can. So, should be pretty interesting. Should be pretty interesting, boys. Okay. So, let's see then. We've got some office demand, which is also super important. And we'll go with the generic high-density office stuff. But I've got to be careful how I do place this down. Because it might slightly get carried away. So I might just go to there with you. Get a couple of buildings there. We'll see what we can kind of squeeze just here. Because they should end up being pretty tall buildings as well. And I'm just trying to get all this stuff in so I can then start getting the demand for the high density slowly creeping in. So drop a couple in there. I don't like how that's kind of placed itself there though. There we go. I want it to kind of move over slightly. And I think what we'll do, we'll fast forward at the same time. We'll wait for people to slowly start moving in. And we'll wait for some revenue to come in because it also kind of makes sense to get a little bit more cash in the bank to start paying for some of the services. Medium demand is slowly now creasing up. We've got a little bit extra money. And we should now start to see a little bit of life going on. Yeah, there's a lot more people now walking about. So it's slowly now happening. It is now slowly happening. So what I want to do next then is I want to try and keep up with the kind of commercial to begin with. So we should be able to fill in those little spots there. Do it down here as well. And that will now set me up pretty nice. So because this is all going to be transporting people, we're going to fill in all these little gaps as well with the commercial. So the size of the building shouldn't be too big. It should be very similar to that. So it gives us that visual walkway. But I don't know whether I should kind of scrap off the zone in there. And then kind of keep this space here open and free. So it's like more of a natural view all the way down. I don't know yet. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one. But this is the most of the low density you're going to get. And then all the taller buildings going around it. I might not actually like it at the same time. I still might change it all up. But let's get back to a little bit more kind of office zoning. So we got a little bit over there. We'll do some over here. I'm waiting for that high density residential demand to kick in. That's going to be the kicker, isn't it? That will be the kicker. So go the full shebang there with you. The full shebang there with you. And then, yeah, you're getting your tall buildings now coming in. And then we'll kind of then feed around the high density residential. So we need to provide more stuff in this area then. So let's slowly start kicking in some of the services. So I think we'll start with the hospitals. Actually, do you know what? I still don't have enough for a hospital. I feel like we need to go for like quite a big hospital. The southwest one could be a good shout. That could be a real good shout, to be honest with you. But that is a $2.5 million building. Now, I don't like to get loans, right? And I haven't paid back my previous loans. But I'm going to take an extra... I'm going to take an extra 10 million here. Now, I know it's a lot of money to pay back, but with the way things are going right now, I think we can take that slight risk. So I'm going to go to the Southwest Hospital, and I'm going to actually build it just here. So if I incorporate it there, because of the type of building it is as well, it feels like it will integrate nicely with the city skyline. He said the name of the game, boys. So we've got extensions for ambulance bays, which are pretty handy. It has up to 30 vehicles we can use instantly anyway. And I can do some nice gardens and stuff around it. So that will take care of medical care. We want to do policing in the city. So let's see what we could do here. We could go for the Japanese police headquarters, which is quite a tall building, which would actually fit quite nice. Now, when I said I'm spending some money, boys, I actually meant I'm spending some money, boys, which is ridiculous, right? Oh, that could fit in here just nice. How does that look? Yeah. I like it. And what I'll do is I'll do the little bike lane coming down just for more connectivity, just like that. Right, this is coming together. I'm liking the idea of trying to fit in these taller buildings. It does make a lot of sense. Now, we've got the medium demand. I'm just waiting for that high density. So, fire and rescue. I don't think we're going to find a tall building for fire. Not really, no. Not really, no. So, I might just incorporate a decent size one. I could go to Japan again, but I'm thinking I'm liking the East American style one. If it went somewhere like here on the corner. Because I'm going to do medium density within this area. Oh, the high density is now creeping in. So that provides only 7 vehicles. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I will give it a... Let me add a key on. Let me add a key on the helicopter, which is not a good idea with the buildings surrounding it. I'm now realizing that. I'm now realizing that. But that could be pretty handy. So we've got medical, we've got police, we've got fire just down there. Which I'm going to reposition that because it kind of doesn't make that much sense with the helicopters. So that makes more sense there. What am I then missing? Garbage, of course, schools, of course, and deaf care at the same time. Right, it's now starting to get a little bit busier in this area. We've got nearly 1,800 people living here. And, wow, 3,298 jobs. Right, let's start to bring more people here now. So, we'll do the high density first. And we'll go with some generic high density residential buildings. So, we'll fill this up here first. Which I have a feeling it might be too big. Right, let me just randomly do this. You got a couple there. And then see what comes of that. And then... Oh, my medium density is getting spent as well. Right. Medium density. I'm going to fill this up with medium density here. And just see what comes of that. That got spent quicker than I was expecting. So there really isn't much demand kind of hanging around there for us, is there? There really isn't. There really isn't. So let's take care of the deaf care next. No, let's do schools. let's do schools because that's going to be a huge factor. So we've got the city elementary school. So let me turn that anarchy back off now, by the way. And I can squeeze it in somewhere here. Or I could kind of set this up maybe somewhere like... Because this is going to be like... lowish. I don't want to ruin the front of that building, though. Oh, they don't quite reach the back there, which is interesting. I'm going to throw this over here. And actually reposition it so it's facing outwards onto greener pastures. We'll add the extension on and the playground so it becomes a little bit bigger. And we do like a little bit of a park area here as well. Same with there. We want to try and add some green spaces inside of this density area. So with the way that this is kind of set up, I think some alley roads kind of make sense. So if I ran through like that and then decided to run a road... You know what? That could work as well. Having them just there. That could also work. I think that we're going to have the same issue along here. So I'm just going to run a road that tears through the middle here. And then... I'm going to do the same... than there. And I think... it wants to build a bridge. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. I'm not too sure. I don't think it is. I'm going to cancel that. No. Let's just keep it as it is. I am doing foolish stuff right now. Right, so medium zone stuff coming in. We'll do medium density. We'll do some medium density around here now, so it's kind of like slowly changing at the same time. And then throw all that in. And you're going to get like the staggered skyline. That's what we're trying to do right now. That's the perfect size of the high density buildings that we're after. So that does work out. So anyway, I was going to handle the death care, wasn't I? So medical... Oh, no, sorry. Schooling. We need a high school. I don't believe we... No, we do have a high school. Yeah, we do have a high school. It's like over there somewhere. We're going to get the city high school next, which somewhere like this is probably perfect. There, it fits in... Actually, it fits in here quite nice as well. And that skyline does work. We'll stack it up a bit more. Put a playground on the rooftops. That works out glorious as well. So it gives a little bit more capacity. And I'm going to save the college and the university for like some special areas. I feel like that would work out fairly well. Right, death care next in the big city. Now, I could do either a cemetery or I could do a crematorium. Or I could combine the both. There's nothing stopping me doing that as well. Now, is it like an area around here that would make sense? Or am I wanting to... How are those buildings there looking next to this? They are within the shadows of those buildings. They're zoned buildings, by the way, these two. It's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. What did I choose for this? The French build. Ugh. Why did I choose French? No, thank you. I don't like the French medium density. Right, there we go. Get those in. They should be a lot better. Ew-wee. Right, yes. So, death care then. I don't know if to do like a cemetery and it also incorporates a... crematorium or just do a crematorium. I feel like a crematorium makes the most sense because I can kind of incorporate the crematorium within the little park area we're going to kind of get set up around the hospital. So if I implemented it there, I could add the additional incinerator. I could add the refrigeration storage extension. It gives us 10 vehicles. And I could add a hearse extension. I can kind of put them on the opposite side of the road if needs be. Now, until then, we're going to quickly design some bike lanes. So if I ran like that, that come down to there, and then I do you come down like that. We're going to do one that comes off there to there maybe. We'll cut down there. I'm just trying to think about ways in which we can kind of run stuff through with these bike lanes. And I'm going to create some green areas for leisure. Oh. So the citizens will be happy. And of course, make sure that it's all going the right way. I don't know which way to make it go, actually. I'm not particularly too sure on that. And then we'll use the bike. We've used the roads in other places, but here we'll use the bike lanes. Oh, that would be pretty handy there. I'm trying to make it quite a cycle-free, not cycle-free city, a cycling city, if that makes sense. So yeah, we'll go with that style. That's pretty good. We'll do some more medium density. So let's fill up you, all of this, just to there. All of you as well, medium density. And then let's do some green areas. So we'll place down some park stuff first. Then we can get like a ruined site. Right, so park stuff first. I want to work with this area to begin with. And I want to play around with some stuff before we commit. What makes the most sense? Let's see. What is this anyway? Is this part of the ship stuff? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of cool, actually. Views of the surrounding greenery area. We have tourist attraction stuff. But I don't want to get any of that. We've got normal, like, large plaza-y stuff things as well. So it's just committing to something. Which I'll probably do that there. We'll do... I want to get like a various selection. A nice little restaurant in one of these is a good idea. So I might implement the restaurant here. And then we'll go for the merry-go-round carousel. Nah, not that one. Nah, not you. Something a bit bigger now. Oh, that would have been perfect here. Actually, let me reposition you. Put you over here. And then you there. And then we'll place down a bunch of trees. But I now want to make this a bit more walkable. So, going to the path section. We're just going to do normal paths now. We're going to come away from the bike lanes. Or do I need to? I'm not particularly too sure. I'm not sure how this works. I don't know if they can kind of walk from there onto this. I don't know how all that stuff kind of works in reality. Also, I'm not liking that, thinking about it, because... Oh, no, because I can kind of just realised I can anarchy trees onto it. My old trick of doing that before. Vegetation. If I go for an oak, go large style. And then anarchy. I can just anarchy a couple of trees here and there to make it feel a part of the area. And keep that open greenery space. That works really well. So this city is actually slowly coming together right now. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get some of the taller buildings all in. We have spent some serious cash. We are now losing some serious cash because our expenses are super high. But we are bringing more and more people in now. We also have to take into account the low density residential. Because we can't just rely on all high everywhere. So we'll have to kind of start thinking about that stuff. And I think what would work really well is if I do like little kind of cul-de-sacs that stick out. Like here, I could do one there. If I did one here, I don't know if I've technically spaced these right, to be honest with you. I kind of haven't. I don't know how far to kind of take some of these. So I might do... Actually, this one can go a little bit further than the others. And I might just trim them in just a minute as well. No, I don't like that last one. Right, let's just see how these look then. So this is our chance to get some, like, waterfront properties. Let's just start there with some of that density. And to see how they look. But that's what you got to fit in. You got to add in as much as we can here, boys. You got to try and increase these things. So we've added an extra 2,000 people to the island in general. And then we're now just waiting for them to kind of make their way over here. So I'm fully expecting... Oh my goodness me, there is a queue for the trams. Wait, hold on. How is this working here? Oh, hello, hello. That's really weird. So because technically they can only get onto the tram from this side, when the tram comes, it only picks people up there. These people have to wait, and they can't get on because the tram's in the way. I think that is not helping me, that path. In a weird way, I don't think that path is technically helping me. Let me see. I've never seen so many people here than I have right now. I didn't realize we're actually getting that many people in. Right. Here comes a tram now, which is going to be completely filled to the brim. There we go. And then off it goes. Shortly. And then we need to wait for another tram to come in. But that... Yeah, having that little path there was slightly hindering me a little bit. Right, hopefully that works out then. So, I'm going to get rid of these trees here. Oh, right. We need a beach deletion counter. Why didn't I just do the... Turn the snap in off? And then... I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Right, how many times have I deleted the beach, boys? How many times have I now deleted the beach? Right, where does it go? It goes to here. I can't stop deleting the beach, can I? Right, what I wanted to do is create a little bit of a bike lane that goes around here now. Because as more and more people move in, more and more the tram network is going to struggle. There's a lot of people waiting here now. There's 136. That's going back full. So maybe I need to add more trams onto that. Now, do I have many available? We do have 4 available. Now, the one that goes here technically doesn't go into this area. So I think rather than adding one there, we need to add a new one. I need to add a new tram line. So tram, because we have 3 tram lines. We have one that goes and does the semicircle there. We have one that comes down here and then goes into the docks. And then we've got one that goes from there all the way down, round, and then in. But if you get to here, you've got to get on a tram, go to there, switch, to then go all the way back down to here. So I need one that kind of goes back and forth this way. So if I pick the other side and then make our way down. Turning into there. Head back. Complete the route. Now, what does that put on us? How many trams? So that will put on 4. I'm going to drop that down to 3 just for now. I'll drop it down to 3 just for now. Keep it easy, boys. Keep it easy right now. And then see how we get on with all of this. Fingers crossed it does make a lot of sense. But then we got more of a direct route and a bit more capacity on getting to this new city as well. Right. Very good. Very good. Very good. So what's unemployment saying? It should be super low. Yeah, it is kind of low. There is a lot of workplaces, but the problem is the jobs I've added in are very, very high education levels. So, the fools can't really get those jobs just yet. And they can't really get them just yet. So, let's get some more zoning in anyway. So, we'll probably now... Let's do some North American style office buildings in. Play around with that skyline a bit more. We're going to fill this up here with some commercial, but I'm wondering if it would make a bit of sense to... kind of in a weird way. Keep that little strip there open. And I don't know why I'm doing it. I just feel like I need to do it. I don't know why. I just feel like I need to do it. I need to place down a bunch of trees and stuff leading down here. To where we'll then have like a little bit of a port area. Or a transfer area. You've got this nice view going all the way down. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. But let's take a look at the bike lanes anyway. Because we need to obviously incorporate them as much as possible. And we don't have any bike lanes on this road in general anyway. So let's upgrade this to have bike lanes. So anarchy this. Right, there we go. That's going to have bike lanes going all the way through. And of course going as far down as we can. So we'll take it to there. Now, we need to put bike parking. So bike parking, bike shelters. Oh, actually, now we've got the trams coming in. We can actually do a couple additional tram stops. So let me just do that first. So I'll do one there and there. And I don't have the U-turn set up yet. It can't do a U-turn here, so I'll just kind of keep it like that. But I'll at least add that in. And I think for now that will be it. Yeah, I think for now that will be it. Wait, what's happened on that one? What was all that about then? I've got no idea what was happening then. Something didn't like it, but I've since now just slightly updated it. So there's an additional stop just there. It might be handy for some people. Right, bike shelter stuff then. So I'm going to go for the underground bike parking. Because that does make a lot more sense. But actually, I'm wondering if I can first squeeze in some storage around here first. Should I just go for the bike park in there and there? there and there. And we'll do some bike parking just here. I'll do one there, and I'm going to do one just there. I'm kind of going to anarchy some bike parking on this. And then try and squeeze some around here. So doing it, anarchying it on the building does make a bit of sense. It feels like it's integrated as part of the building, if that makes sense. So that gives us lots of bike parking then. So now you can start to see people cycling in and out of the area. There's places to go, places to park, which make a lot of sense. They're now using my new stop here, which is perfect. And we're up to 20,000 residents already. Right, we got the buildings coming in. We got the skyscrapers in, which is nice. Very nice. I just can't seem to get any more medium density in or anything like that. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to see if I can get some low density in. So bringing this across to 224, right? Which is a connection here. There we go. And obviously this will all be low density. So normal, low density housing. As it then kind of sprawls out going down to that peninsula. Nice little beautiful park area triangle. And I feel like we could also benefit from some more park vibe stuff. We might have to get something that kind of squeezes in here. I don't think I've got anything else as narrow as that. Oh, we've got these, but they go on sideways, don't they? Right, I've implemented that there. They're now technically in the way. I should have put it all on this side. Actually, put them like that. Delete these. And it creates an additional walkway. Now, I'm going to see if I can drop down some big, beautiful oak trees. To stylize this corridor. Do the same thing here. Stylizing that corridor. We'll place down some trees on this building, which is our town hall. You can tell it's autumn in the game as well. Right, very nice. I can get a little bit too carried away with doing stuff like that, so I need to kind of like pull myself back a little bit as I slowly choke. Zoning's all in. Looking great. We'll probably end up doing like low density stuff around here as well. Lots of jobs now available. Education is also available. I want to check some graphs. So our money's dropping down. Of course it is. We did get a big loan, but we can kind of deal with that for just a minute. Now, in the grand scheme of it, our population is rising rapidly. Homelessness has since decreased, but is on the way back up again. Households are increasing, age is increasing, all that kind of stuff. Job availability is getting better and better and better. Workers, lots more. Unemployed, coming down. Actually, it did come down quite dramatically. Tourists, there is none. Income for tourists, there was some. Then there was negative. Wait, did the tourists steal the money? Did they come here and just rob me? Trade, that's when I bought the new warehouses and then we bought all the stuff in and imported it. So, a bit artificially inflated that is there. Right, looking good. I've got this little triangle corner here now. Can I do anything with this? Anything that would make sense? We got the deaf care in. We did that. Garbage is not an issue for the city at the minute. We do need to do mail. So let's kind of now implement all of this stuff. So let's do post boxes first. And then let's get a decent sized post office implemented, which I'm going to place this actually just here on the junction. We'll do a nice little extension. Is the other building an extension? It is. Let's do this as an extension there. And then you there. So a little bit bigger. Sets us up quite nice. For the mail. And then we need to implement... The internet's actually pretty good. So everyone's super happy apart from the unreliable mail service. That is still not looking great. What is the issue behind that then? So apparently we're not processing. How can we not be processing? Is the answer. Do we need a large one? We've got one there, we've got one there. I could put a small post office around up in this facility. So I could implement it there, add the extension on. Gives us only 3 vehicles, is not a lot, but it enables us to collect a little bit more. And now our wind turbines are finally becoming overloaded because the batteries are now depleting. So we will add in one more there. And then connect it up. And that should keep us going for a little bit longer. I'm surprised the electricity's lasted this long. I really am. So, are we still struggling to get people over here? Yes and no. Yes and no. We are bringing in people at vast quantities. There's over 1,000 people now slowly making their way over. Now, I know we do need to add more and more trams or maybe think about alternative routes. But they will eventually get here once we've... because I've added in so many people. There is a lot of people here right now. I gotta give them chance. Now, let me do some biking lanes. So, let me get up our... Where is it? Here we go. Bike path stuff. Continuous bends. So, let me do some wigglies. Right, there we go. I don't know how far to take it. I don't know whether to do like the bike lane going all the way around. Because I want it to kind of be very similar to this vibe here. But there was a part of it where it's just path because we found the bikes were biking a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. But I want to be able to get them to the industrial area. This is where the jobs are. So I might just get it to kind of pull into... Right, Seniac, don't delete... Right, the damn beach. Right, get him to bike into there. And then we will utilize... Because I don't know how far this is going to go. This is where we'll end up understanding where the path goes. So I'm just going to do this for now until we build the harbour for all this. I think make it go on the inside is probably the better one. So you'll see some people now biking it. Because it might become a quicker route, a more direct route. Yeah, you might see him now bike it over there. It's not perfect yet, but it will get fine-tuned as we kind of build up with the area. Oh, is there a traffic jam? So we've got a major traffic jam here. What's the... Oh, because a vehicle has crashed. I mean, that just goes to show one vehicle crash and it completely kills off our network. Now, do I want people to be able to cross here? Not really. Not really. Which is then going to tell people don't walk. So that should kind of at least keep the flow apart from the bikes. But the bikes are, you know, another variation of vehicle. So one vehicle crashed there and it completely crippled my network. So it just goes to show then, maybe we need to start thinking about other ways in which we can get cargo to the port. And that might be a conversation we've got to have with this, what we're doing with this train line. Because the more I build, the less room I've got to implement said train line. So we are going to have a little bit of a think about it. Now, what's stopping my high density residential demand? It's the unoccupied buildings. We haven't filled the current residential buildings up just yet. So that's something that we're going to have to focus on. Right, that little backlog of traffic should now eventually clear itself. But there's a lot of people biking, by the way. Yeah, we might need to do... we might need to create like a bike highway to keep them off the road. That's what we might need to do. For the first time ever, we've got actual traffic. But you could argue that that vehicle that crashed did back everybody up. So give it a bit of time. Give it a bit of time to clear. If it's still something that keeps happening, then we'll kind of sort it all out. But we've got people biking down here as well, which is all good. All good, all good, all good. We got the benefits from the City Hall stuff as well. People walking about, biking. It's what we like to see. And we need to extend public transport over here as well. There's actually over 1,000 people here waiting as well at the same time. So how many more trams am I able to pull out of this? Oh, okay, we're using all the trams. So I've got no spare trams. Oh no, I've got some from over here I can take. Wait, I can do extension on that as well, and that'll give me even more on top. Right, ignore everything I just said. Right, let's now assign 3 more vehicles on that line. And 3 more vehicles on that line for the trams. That will allow us to kind of then transport more people. It's getting out of hand now, isn't it? It is getting out of hand, the traffic. We've got to find alternative ways. Yeah, we're now be able to transport more people, pick more people up. That was over 1,000 before. It's now at 500, so we know that number's getting lower and lower. And with the implementation of the additional trams, that should get us somewhere as well. All right, it's all go, boys, right now, isn't it? It's all go in FishTown. It really is. Right, the start of the megacity has begun. It's something that will continue to evolve and continue to grow as time goes on. We are going to end it for here right now, boys. So all I want you to do is give me a name suggestion of what we're going to call this town in the next episode. Guys, if you enjoyed this, please smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.